The escape of Daniel Khalif from Wandsworth prison under a van which had been delivering food to the kitchens must be extraordinarily embarrassing for the prison service. Is he a danger to the wider public? We're told he's not. He's a former soldier who had planned some sort of dummy bomb and who was accused of collecting information that could be useful to the enemy. So in terms of terrorism, he seems quite a low priority, but at the same time, he was convicted of terrorism offences. He's now on the run. He could find a way to get out of the country, and the system seems to be stymied and seems to be failing. The Labour MP for his area in Tooting, for the area where Wandsworth Prison is in Tooting, has said that she did some investigation over the winter and discovered that on one shift, only 7 people turned up to look after over 1,000 inmates. Outrageous. And that there was a point when the prison was without water for 6 days. It's hardly surprising that people are taking advantage of such incredibly poor security, such incredibly poor management, and seeing a chance, strapping themselves under a van and getting out. Hardly surprising. And maybe the focus should be on whether or not our prison service is doing its job, whether it's the right way of dealing with people. The whole issue of prison reform is not only about what we do with prisoners when they are inside, but whether or not it's right to put people there in the first place. And we should be ensuring that people who are in prison emerge as better people rather than worse. It costs so much money per head to look after people in prison. And maybe we've got the whole of the system wrong, because rather than focusing on the victims of crime, we're focusing on the people who commit the crimes. We're pouring so much money into looking after them, and we're forgetting about the victims. We've got it upside down. Maybe because we're relying on insurance policies, but not everybody has that sort of insurance and that sort of foresight, or the money to pay out to insurance companies week after week, month after month, on the off chance that things are going to go catastrophically wrong. And we know that even when you do pay insurance companies wriggle to the extent that they often don't pay out what you expect. So we need a rethink, because a victim should always, whether they have insurance or not, should always be compensated. And people who commit crime should always be put on the right track. Now, they should also possibly, I think, always be punished. But that punishment must involve reform. And if we're going to put people in prison, then we need to make sure that our prisons are functioning properly, that they're healthy places, that they're properly staffed, and that people don't escape from them. But again, the government is left with egg on its face. The Justice Secretary is left with very little to say. But Mr. Chalk, I'm sure, will find something to say, some patronising put down. But he is left in a position where he has things to explain. Why is the system that he is in charge of, that he is responsible for, failing so badly?